What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Just talking a little Saints Eagles. Again, strength on strength. When you look at that Saints rush defense going against that Eagles rush offense. Two teams that are entering, though. And if we wanted to extend the conversation to last season, for whatever that's worth, the two teams could not be entering going in different directions, right? If we were to look at the bar graph, the Eagles are 2-11 in their last 13. Whereas, what was the Saints' record over the final six? I know the offense was awesome. Was it 4-2? What did they do over the final 6 games last year? I'm just going to ask the question again while Taylor looks at it. What did they do over the final 6 games?
I know the Eagles were awful down the stretch.
Yeah, they went from 10-1 to, what, 10-7?
I think so.
Yeah.
In the last 6 games, they were 5-1. Their only loss was to the Rams.
So, you have a 2-11 Eagles team against a now 7-1 Saints team. The Eagles, thinking they had everything figured out, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, they made a Super Bowl. They're awesome. They're 10-1. They're the best. And then everything out of nowhere just completely falls apart. Then Jason Kelce retires. Your heart and soul. Your leader. Whereas, if you look at it from the Saints' perspective, you finish 5-1. You still do make the coaching changes. Only your coaching changes seem to have paid mind-bogglingly good returns with Clint Kubiak's done. I mean, he's been literally perfect. We spent an entire offseason talking about he's going to be the savior, and then he's actually gone and done it, which is insanity.
Yeah.
And a key difference is, like, what does Nick Sirianni himself do well? Jake, do you know? Like, because Dennis Allen, for all the Dennis Allen hate, and you know, charisma, if this was a D&D character, he would not score very high on charisma. He might have like an 8 or something out of 20, right?
Yeah.
But the guy's a good defensive coordinator. I mean, that is unquestioned. Look at the defense that he has consistently put together since he arrived back in New Orleans. Look at the defense this year. Look at the meanness. It's weird because, you know, sometimes you think of a team taking on the identity of its coach. Probably doesn't mean as much in the NFL. But, like, Dennis Allen's not an especially mean-feeling or aggressive-feeling guy, right? But that defense plays like savages.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys felt them last week. So it's like, okay, you have a head coach that is still really, really strong on one side of the ball, and now even off the court has been a home run, whereas Philly completely fires everyone after last year, and now it doesn't look like much has changed coming into this year.
I mean, I know he's an offensive guy. I mean, he was in San Diego for a long time. Sirianni was as quarterbacks coach with PR17. Receivers coach as well, so he had dual roles there. But, yeah, I mean, I get what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, what does he do? What does he bring to the Philadelphia Eagles? Like, what is his strength right now?
Well, I just mean if that is his strength, then he's struggling to get the most out of his strength.
Yes, for sure. And also, like, when you see the slide that they went on last year, it brings up major concerns. How are you so good? And then once, you know, teams got the book on you and what you were doing, you couldn't stop the bleeding.
Yeah, could not.
Like, that
Completely
would be
fell
a
apart.
big concern for me from the front office. Now, there's been good. I don't want to act like there hasn't been. I mean, to get out to the start that they did, you have to be doing something right. But if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm like, hold up. Like, what happened? Why could you not fix it? Why could you not turn it around? And like you said, to start off this conversation, you lost some of your leaders that you would think would help that situation.
Yeah.
So now you have a loss, which, let's be honest, there was zero excuses for losing that game that they did against the Falcons. Like, it's
pathetic.
You had that game. You had to give it away by not running out the clock, and then they still had to go score a touchdown, not a field goal. And you gave them that game. And if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be more of the same. So right now, for the Saints, like, you're getting them at a really good time because a lot of times we'd be like, oh, man, they're going to be eager or bounce back situation. But the Eagles have shown us.
They kind of feel broken.
Exactly. When they go down, they don't get back up. They just fall farther.
It's true. It's a very good point. Is there a worse fan base to go on a slide with than the Philadelphia Eagles, too?
Yeah, the Phillies, the Flyers, the 76ers.
I mean, those fans, I saw a little man on the street thing interviewing people after the game. They are so done with Nick Sirianni. They're done with everybody. I mean, who knows? Howie Roseman just last year was easily thought of as like the best GM in the NFL. It's unbelievable what he has done. They're now done with him. It's so crazy how quickly the winds of fate will blow in the NFL. And then again, you have to say to the complete opposite, where everybody was so done in the offseason that y'all didn't even allow us to talk about him. Y'all didn't even allow us to play a single Dennis Allen clip from camp. And now look at you, freaking hyped to go to the Superdome and watch the Saints roast the birds come Sunday. And I'm excited too, dude. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Sirianni's 35-18 as a head coach in the NFL, which is great.
And he sucks.
He sucks, according to every Eagles fan.
And Dennis Allen is like 20-100, and he's awesome. Hell yeah, dude. The winds of fate.
20-100. It's not that far off.
The winds of fate blow in mysterious ways.
Actually, what do we think Dennis Allen's career head coaching record is?
2-0.
Career, I think he's probably got 25, 26 wins.
Okay.
I don't know how many games he's
No,
coached.
he's almost got that here alone, right? But I guess how many games did he only win? Like 4 or like 7 in Oakland? He's got to be at least 30 wins.
How long was he in Oakland?
2.5 seasons. 2.5
Well,
seasons. 2 and a third.
He's got to at least be 30 wins.
I'm gonna say like 28, like Taylor said.
His career record as a head coach, he was 8-28 in Oakland, and he's 18-18 in New Orleans, 26-46.
All right. But what's the old adage, guys?
What have you done for me lately?
2-0. Hey, what do you say when it's halftime and you're playing Little League football? Even if you're up 21-0.
Scores tied. 0-0.
Score 0-0, boys. 0-0, okay? I don't care about what happened in Oakland. I don't care about what happened pre-Kubiak, okay? All I care about is what has happened this year, and this team looks awesome. So
he is 18-18, and this is not me throwing shade. I promise you I mean this. In New Orleans, after being 8-28 in Oakland.
That's really good improvement, actually.
There was nobody that believed he could ever be a coach that ever found his way to a 500 record after 36 games in New Orleans.
I would agree. I'd agree with that. And ascending each year has gotten
7-10, 9-8, 2-0.
Yeah. So the win total's gotten better. Maybe we'll see.
Shout out Clint Kubiak.
Again, though, 7-10 to 9-8 without Clint. But yes, I do feel you. It's funny that Clint Kubiak's been so good. How do we feel about the Saints fans' insecurity that like Clint's going to be a head coach by the end of this year? Is that realistic,
I don't
Jake?
know.
Do you need a larger sample size?
No.
Yeah.
Think about who Carolina hired.
Yeah. But that is Carolina. But yeah, no, you're right.
No. If Clint Kubiak can take what we saw from Stinky Pete and continue on this path, it's not going to be this, but if it just continues down a very exciting, highly efficient,
if you're like a top 5 offense.
Yes. If you take what we saw last year, and y'all, it's the same people.
Yeah, it is.
It's the same players for the most part.
Alvin Kamara looks like he just looks like a man reborn.
Think about like if he's able to do that, if he's able to achieve what we're talking about, the New Orleans Saints at the end of the year are a top 5 offense in the NFL. Absolutely, he could be a head coach. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a list of teams. I don't want to call any names, but we all know who they are of guys that would be fired.
Yeah,
they're already trending that way. Hell, Sean Payton better get his act together.
Bro, Payton's cooked.
Because
Payton's cooked. The game is passing by.
My guy Vance Joseph, who's a great football coach, he got a year. He got a year there. Now he's back as defensive coordinator, which is always interesting in the same spot. And I know you traded a first-round pick, so you're going to give more time to Sean Payton, but he better get it together because from where I sit, offensive football has passed Sean Payton up.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Interesting. Oh man, I'm having to work through all these freaking Cal Twitter tweets that I keep liking. I saw a great tweet yesterday on the Sean Payton trade and how something that felt kind of bad at the time has really can't be liking that, T-Pop, relax. Has really
You hold on. You sent it to us.
private likes are a problem.
It was.
Oh, here it is. I got it right here. So at the time, remember, it felt pretty bad. You were happy you got a first round pick, but whatever. But like right now, the Broncos got Sean Payton and Riley Moss. And I don't know if Riley Moss is playing well or not, but like that's who they got out of the deal.
He's solid.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up. Hold it down for the people. The Saints got Brian Brzee and Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's a big dub.
Yeah, it's a big dub.
I mean, Sean Payton had anything. Brian Brzee, finally a first-round lineman that's actually good. And he's been really good. He's going to be critical on Sunday to helping stop that Eagles rushing attack. Kool-Aid McKinstry thrown into the action Sunday with Marshawn Lattimore out, making this already strong secondary even stronger. And helping to shut down CeeDee Lamb. I'd say you're winning that trade right now. And that came from at Caden Jancic on Twitter. So thank you, Caden. Good graphic. Good graphic for sure.
But, kind of going back, like, a guy like that's going to get more leeway because he's, won a Super Bowl. That gives you some. That was a long time ago, but he's won a Super Bowl. And, again, like, when you have an asset like a first-round pick tied into a coach, like, you thought it was going to be a home run.
Yeah.
And it does not look like that by any means. And so that's, those are the things that you start to look at when we start talking about Kubiak maybe being a head coach. It's like,
even if Belichick can't get in, the game could pass you by quick.
Oh, without
You can have it
question.
overnight. You can have it overnight.
And now, are you willing to adapt is also like the part of it. Like, that's what Nick Saban was so good at.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. He did not like having to run that style of offense. He felt like it put his defense in a bad situation. He did not love the transfer portal, but he understood he had to use it in some spots on his team. Now, NIL, maybe that's one of the things that forced him out, but all those other things that he didn't like, he did them because he knew if he didn't, he would be Dabo Swinney right now and where he currently sits. And there would be a ceiling to your program that you could never get above.
Yeah.
Like Sean Payton he is so stubborn. Like, I've
He
only
is
been
very my way or the highway.
I've only been in one camp with him as a head coach, and so it was basically a couple of days. But I'm like, this guy is stubborn. He really likes himself, and I can just feel him being stuck in his way, saying, "No, my ways are going to work. We are going to do it the way I've always done it." And that's where you get in trouble.
I mean, he's straight up trying to just meat puppet Bo Nix right now, and it's not working. To go back to the Kubiak conversation, again, guys, we're just going to get very ahead of ourselves here. This is not good analysis or anything like that, but let's get very ahead of ourselves. What a weird decision for Mickey Loomis if it does end up like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Clint Kubiak legitimately becomes a big-time head coach candidate,
yeah,
how much gum is Mickey Loomis going to have to chew to make that decision? Because you can't, or is the decision already made? Saints fans will be clamoring to keep him no matter what, even if it meant a head coach change. But I've never seen that happen. Have we?
No,
There's no way.
I'm trying to think of like all the Belichick, Parcells, all those days when it felt like the Patriots and Jets were just changing head coaches over and over again. I don't know.
Hear me out. You promote Clint Kubiak
To what? Head coach?
to head coach.
Okay, yeah.
And then Dennis Allen's just a good DC
defensive
executive.
coordinator.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to our
Exactly.
roots.
Oh, God. Talk about awkward workplace.
Because, I don't know.
Hey, you want to switch offices?
Yeah. I'm probably wrong in this, but it just kind of feels like that's still kind of what he's doing. Like, Clint is obviously making all the calls on offense.
Yeah. No, a head coach, look, a head coach is not, a head coach in the NFL can still call plays.
Yeah.
It's not like college. But they're going to call plays on their side of the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like he's doing that anyway.
You might want to hire, and now there's differing levels of empowerment, right? How much leeway do you give a guy? Sometimes with defensive head coaches, you can see them kind of tell the OCs, hey, we want to play things, pretty conservatively. But it feels like he's pretty much given Kubiak the run of the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is paying really good dividends, which I think a smart leader does do.
Yeah.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.